Hey guys, Dantix here, back with another Outriders video. I've been having a blast with the demo. It has some of the most engaging and satisfying combat I've played in a while, and I'm itching to see what happens next in the story. I highly encourage those who haven't checked it out yet to do so. It's free, it's generous, and all of your progress from the demo carries over to the full game if you decide to buy it. So in this video, I'll be running through 7 things that you absolutely should do before release, including how to get your character in the best position before the game comes out, understanding crafting, legendaries, mods, enemies, accolades, and more. Starting with the first, accolades. As you complete accolades, which are essentially achievements, you unlock progressively better rewards, usually cosmetic. They are accolades for a variety of things, as you'd expect, around story completion, combat, class skills, and unlocks. Some will be impossible to get in the demo, but there are some you can achieve with a little planning. One is the Go-Getter, which requires you to kill 10 enemies with no more than 2 seconds between each kill. Normally fairly difficult, as there usually isn't, well, 10 enemies in a kill box for you to take care of. However, if you select this story point and continue past the first captain, there will be a laneway with a ton of cutthroats and some breaches. The game wants you to take care of them as they charge at you, however pop the difficulty down to world tier 1 and scoop them all up. When they're all together in a nice little ball, unleash your best AoE abilities. The Trickster and Pyro won't have any problems with this. After they all die, you should have completed the accolade. Take a look at the list for more that you can complete before the game's release. You may not be aware, but you can replay side missions and even replay the story content on any character that's completed them. You may be retaking and replaying side missions in order to level up your character and find better gear. However, what you can do is, when you're in the lobby, click Select Story Point. From here you can replay any part of the mainline missions from the start with your current character, with all of the chests fully packed and ready for you to break again. I recommend picking the Confront the Altered at the Tower story point. It has 2 item chests for you to collect right at the start, and when you beat the boss, another. You might even opt not to fight the boss, but you simply jump back out to the lobby, click the Confront the Altered in the Tower story point again, and repeat. There has been some other ways to farm, but they've been since patched out. This is currently an easy and entertaining way to find legendary items. Speaking of legendary items, there is more than one reason you want these. The first is obviously for a powerful weapon with unique tier 3 mods that change up how you play. The second is for the more useful reason of dismantling the item in order to learn how to place those unique mods into another item. You see, these mods here can be learned and then reapplied to another item, granted you have the right tier slot and the resources available. Say your weapon has Essence Thief and you want it to have Hot Blood. If you have learned Hot Blood, which I have, you can overwrite Essence Thief with it, since they're both tier 1 mods. You can do this for 1 slot in each weapon or armor, so you'll need to make a choice. Once you dismantle an item with a mod, the next item you see with the same mod will have this square icon next to it, showing you that you've learnt it. Be sure not to sell your items at the store if you have yet to learn the mod that's on it. In the full game, we'll have a menu to see what mods we have, then apply it. In the full game, we'll be able to, with resources, improve the rarity of an item, raise attributes, mod our gear which we just talked about, swap variants, and level up items. So learn as many mods as you can and collect as many resources as you're allowed to hold before release, so you're ready to mod when the game is out. Speaking of, how many resources can you hold? Well, you can get a maximum of 25,000 scrap, 1,000 leather, 1,000 iron, and 10 titanium. There's also an unknown amount of shards you can hold. You can also reach a max level of 7 on each character and achieve a world tier of 5. What are shards though? You see this icon here? Well, this represents a shard. If you were to dismantle this item, you would get an armor pierce shard. If you look down in the resources section, you can see I have shards for a range of different stats. Previously, I mentioned that in the full game, you can mod your gear to raise attributes. You do this with shards. So if I wanted a full armor pierce build, I would mod all of my gear to have this stat using shards. So you're going to want to have as many as you can get. Leather, iron, and titanium all contribute to leveling up items and increasing their rarity. both of which increase the item's stats, but increasing rarity also gives the item more mod slots. If you find an item you like, keeping it scaling will be one way to stay competitive. So dismantle armor for leather, weapons for iron, and rare, epic, and legendary items for titanium. If you mark items for dismantling, you can see what it will give you. So by dismantling this legendary weapon, I will get 2 titanium, 5 close range damage shards, as we can see it has the close range damage attribute, and we will learn the ability to apply both its mods. The tier 3 mod Ultimate Storm Whip, which is unique to it, and Stigra, a tier 2 mod. This also means that this weapon can have either its tier 3 mod replaced with something else or its tier 2, offering some extremely cool choices to make. Maybe you give it freezing bullets, or maybe you like the look of this legendary but prefer another legendary's mod. The customization in the full game will be insane. Be sure to check in on merchants often. Sometimes they have purple, which are epic items, and they may have mods you have yet to learn or be stronger than your current gear. Once you have the maximum amount of leather, iron, and titanium, as well as mods and shards on the items in question, you can start selling those to the vendors for more scrap. After all resources are maxed, keep dismantling for shards. Many of you know this game has almost seamless crossplay. I recently played with friends on their PS5 while I was on PC. All you need to do is have the host share a code, you enter it, and automatically join. However, you do need to make sure you go into the options menu and in the gameplay tab, enable crossplay. It's off by default, and it's still a beta feature in the build of this game. Be sure to turn it on, as you'll match with more people more often, and it'll save you a headache of wondering why you can't connect to your friends. There aren't many of them in the demo, but enemies have weak points. On human enemies, it's usually the head. Basic riflemen die easily to repeated headshots. The breaches have helmets that can be broken off with any shot to the face, so take a quick firing weapon and shoot the plate off. It will do no damage to the breacher, but then unload into its head for extra damage. Using a high firepower, slow rate of fire weapon will just mean it blocks more DPS. Then we have the Cremators. Exactly the same as the Vulture Heavies in Mass Effect, if you shoot their gas tanks, they'll eventually explode, completely bypassing the Cremators' high armor and health. You know it's about to blow when you see little flames coming out of the tank. No doubt there'll be more enemies like this, but for the full game, make sure you have a weapon ready with a scope to really target down these kinds of weak points. So those are the things you should do before the full game's release. What do you think? Tell me below if you have more advice, tips, tricks, or simply want to share some of your Outriders experience. If you liked this video, be sure to do the standard YouTube stuff. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and for everything RPG, keep it on Dantes. Ciao, friends.